What is going on, beautiful people? Today, we're going to be talking about, can a narcissist have empathy? Like the empathy that's coming from their core. Can they have it? Can they possess it? If you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. Boom. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Yes. Can a narcissist have empathy? So I already know what people are going to say. All right, look. Let me look into the future. Y'all see I got my cap on. This is my prediction cap. Can a narcissist have empathy? What is my audience going to say? Lee, no. Hell no. What are you talking about? I'm unfollowing you now because you're lying. This is clickbait. No. I predict some of the comments, y'all. But seriously, that's one of the main questions that I absolutely get a lot of the time. Can a narcissist have empathy? And again, the answer to the question is yes. Simply put, a lot of narcissists can possess empathy. Like, are there narcissists out there that have absolutely zero empathy, that don't care about anybody else, that cannot understand the emotions or feelings of anybody else? Absolutely yes. There are a lot of narcissists out there that don't possess that. And the definition of empathy says the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. The ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Some narcissists can absolutely do that. Like, I think that a lot of narcissistic people, right, are born with the ability to share ability to understand and share the feelings of others, right? You're born with that ability to learn that in your youth. Something happens in the childhood that shuts that ability off. Like you put so much energy and time, effort, energy into protecting yourself and defending yourself and defending your vulnerabilities and not wanting to seem weak and not wanting to, avoiding criticism and shame and things like that, that you just have to, something's got to go. And a lot of times the empathy has to go because empathy doesn't serve me. If I'm about protecting myself, how does empathy serve me? So that's what happens to a lot of narcissists in their childhood, is that empathy no longer serves them in any way, right? So if the empathy is no longer serving them, what use do I have for it? So they get rid of it. They shut it off. But there's always a but, isn't it? A big old but, a BBL but. BBL, emotional BBL. But there, to me, and to a lot of people, there are different forms of empathy, right? I know you see one of the telltale signs of narcissism is the lack of empathy, right? Lack doesn't mean none, right? Lack doesn't mean none. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people hear the word lack and they automatically think zero. You know what I mean? It's just like, so even the definition, it says noun, the state of being without or not having enough of something. Not having enough of something. It says the state of being without or. So or. You see what I'm saying? Or not having enough. So like I said earlier, some don't have it at all, but there are some people who just lack it. They don't have enough of it. They have it for the people closest to them, right? Narcissists have it for if they have this type of empathy, if they have any empathy at all, it's for the people that are closest to them, right? And it's very little, But to me, like I was saying earlier, there's different forms of empathy. To me, there are two different forms of empathy. This is just to me. And I actually had a psychotherapist say this. I was on a TV show in Australia last year called Insight on SBS in Australia. And a psychotherapist on the show said, hey, there's two different forms of empathy. Cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. Emotional empathy is the empathy that most people think of, right? The empathy, the ability to emotionally connect and understand somebody else's feelings, right? That's the type of empathy that narcissists lack the most of, right? That's the type of empathy that if you have to say narcissists lack empathy, that's the type of empathy that they would lack. The emotional connectivity, that emotional empathy is what they lack, right? They can have some of it. I have emotional empathy. I really do. I love my wife. I love my kids. I understand their feelings for the most part. Notice I said for the most part, right? But there are some narcissists who don't have that at all. They don't have any emotional empathy, but they have what you call the second form of empathy, cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy, right? Yeah, as I tell people, cognitive empathy means that you understand, you know the emotion, right? You understand what the person is going through. You see it. You see what I'm saying? You know how the person is feeling. You can understand why they are feeling a certain type of way, right? You understand why this person is crying. Okay, your mom passed away. I understand why you're crying. I get it. I understand why you're crying right here. But I'm not going to get emotionally connected to it. They understand the emotion. They can acknowledge the emotion. They see the sadness, right? But they don't connect to the sadness. They don't dig deep into the sadness. They don't dig deep into the sadness. And that's what hurts a lot of people in these situations. They don't dig deep enough into the sadness. So it ends up hurting them in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, narcissists, it hurt us in our childhood. So we don't dig deep into the sadness. We don't want those emotional connections like that, because it doesn't serve us if we're trying to protect ourselves. If we have our guards up, if we have our walls up, emotional empathy is what lets the walls down. It's what lets the guard down. So emotional empathy didn't serve me in my childhood. Cognitive empathy did. Understanding why you're crying did. It allowed me, because if you understand cognitive empathy, if you have cognitive empathy, it can allow you to be extremely manipulative to people who have more emotional empathy. It just absolutely can. If I understand why you're crying, right? If I understand that your mom passed away and that's why you cry and that's why you're sad. So I can come up with a sad story, then you, who possess a lot of empathy, you're going to be sad too. So I can manipulate your emotions because I understand cognitive empathy, and I use it against your emotional empathy. It's crazy how that works, isn't it? I know you probably never heard that before, because it just came on top of my head. Like, cognitive empathy can be weaponized against emotional empathy. If I understand what you're going through, but I don't connect to those feelings, I can create a scenario where those feelings come up for you, then I can manipulate you with. What do y'all think about that? That was crazy. I just came out like, that's wild. That's wild. My mind is just turning right now, y'all. It's like the little narcissistic gears are turning in my head right now. Because I don't think I've ever heard that before. I really haven't. It's just like, I'm just thinking about it. Like, because I understand the emotions behind it and I don't connect to it, I can concoct a scenario, or I can weaponize my own. Think about it, y'all. If something really has happened to me, like if I really have suffered a loss in my life, if I really have lost someone close to me, and I know how you feel about losing people close to you, I can use that against you. You know what I mean? I can absolutely use that against you because you connect deeply emotional. You connect on a deep emotional level, and I don't. That's crazy how that works right there, isn't it? That's insane how that works in a lot of these situations, because, like I said, a lot of people don't understand it, right? A lot of people don't understand that mindset, because that's why I tell y'all, I've said this before. Your empathy can be used against you. I've said that before, but I didn't dig deeper into it. And now that I'm digging deeper into it, it absolutely can. It's crazy because I understand empathy. I understand your emotions, and I don't connect to it. I can create a sad ass scenario where most people around me are feeling sorry for me, and I use that against you. That's why you see a lot of scammers use emotion. They use a lot of narcissistic scammers use these super emotionally manipulative situations to conjure people to con people out of their money, to con people out of their resources, right? To con people out of this certain situation. They do it. They make up this sad ass story, and then it tugs on your heartstrings, and you were willing to donate. You be willing to give them some money. That's the dynamic behind it. There are a lot of narcissistic scammers out here. A lot of narcissistic people out here. They create GoFundMes and don't really need them, but they just create a story. Just like, hey guys, my mom is really sick, and my dad is out of the picture of my whole life. I need some money, and that's what happens. People donate because they connect to it. I don't connect to it because it didn't really happen, or it did happen, but I still don't connect to it like that. I don't connect to it on a deeper level. You do, so you donate. You do, so you give it up. And no, I'm not a scammer, y'all. If you follow me on Facebook and you get some messages from me right now, it's not from my Facebook has been compromised, y'all. Somebody took over my Facebook. I've been going back and forth with Meta and Facebook to get it back. So hopefully I'll have it back here soon. But my mental illness Facebook page has been compromise. So don't be responding to messages. Don't, I'm not on here asking for no money. Y'all see the best man returns hour. Do you need some money? Yes. That's what be happening, y'all. So don't let narcissistic people prey on you because you have a lot of empathy. That sucks. And then, like I said, and they will absolutely, they absolutely 100% will weaponize your empathy against you and not have a care in the world, not care how you feel, not care how it affects you on a deeper level, not care what happens to you. As long as their needs are being met, they don't care how you feel when they are using your empathy against you. They do not care. I know people are like, oh, Lee, that sucks. And I just wish I didn't care so much. I get some people in my comment section that be wishing that like, I wish I was a narcissist so I didn't have to feel that way. Like, no, you don't want, because you want to be able to feel, y'all. And I feel like it's kind of like a side effect of my therapy that has opened up a lot of doors for me emotionally. It helped me dig deeper into my empathy center, right? My empathy helped me dig deeper and unlock some of the doors that might have been locked back in the day when I was growing up and I got hurt or manipulated or something like that. So there's been a lot of things that have been going on in my life where, I feel like therapy has opened those doors up to help me heal and to help me grow and help me become who I am right now. And I'm one of the most helpful people in the field of narcissism right now. Y'all got some big interviews coming up. I'm working on my book. I'm waiting to hear back from this publisher. I need to hear back from her. Come on, publisher, hit me back. My book is coming soon though, y'all. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out my support groups. I have a support group at the Mental Healers. We get deep, in-depth, 2-3 Zoom sessions, private Zooms every week. All your questions answered on a private server. Like and subscribe to this channel. Mental Healers is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video. Peace.